Hi again. I'm back live from World Hydrogen North America. I'm here with Blane Vincent from SMB Engineers and Constructors. So we've got a few questions. We'll start with what experience does SMB have in the blue and green hydrogen market?
Yeah, thank you very much for having us. So we've actually been very involved with the blue and green hydrogen market for a number of years. We currently have some green hydrogen projects that are either in early FEL development, feed development, and we actually have the first PIM electrolyzer facility built in the United States. That has really springboarded us in the green space into looking at a number of other projects, whether it be gaseous only, working with renewable power companies, looking at gaseous with liquefaction for the mobility sector, as well as just looking at liquefaction projects on their own. So that's in the green space of it. On the blue side, we are involved with some blue ammonia projects and blue methanol as well, both in FEL2 and feed development, kind of waiting to get those projects through FID, hopefully later this year and into next year. So we've been one of the very few companies that's been successful in this particular space, not only on the front end piece, but actually building projects as a true EPC contractor.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. And so what challenges do hydrogen clients face when developing these kinds of projects?
Specifically around the green side, I'll focus on that one first. Because it's such a new market and the technologies are so new, and there's a lot of developers that are in this space, a lot of renewable companies that work on the power side of it, and they understand that market really, really well. But where they struggle with is understanding, hey, these are gas plant projects, these are heavy industrial projects, and really understanding, okay, how do they go together, constructability around them, developing good sound EPC estimates for the early conceptual phases of the project so they can do their financial modeling, and coming up with good sound construction schedules for these projects are really some of the key items that we support our customers on, in bringing that expertise, that know-how, because we've actually built these facilities, and being able to provide them good certainty around their early conceptual estimates, giving them good schedules that they can use when they're going to get funding for these projects, and having discussions with the offtake customers. So we're setting realistic expectations so they can have successful projects in the end. That's one of the really main takeaways that we're providing to the marketplace in our value proposition.
Okay, thank you again. And so what sort of challenges do contractors face when executing these projects?
One of the things that we're really seeing right now is there's so many new technologies that haven't necessarily been proven in the commercialized space. And so trying to navigate which technologies are applicable for which application, we're making sure that we're bringing those technologies to our customers, but also working with the customers to understand, like, okay, these may not be commercialized yet. What risk profile are you willing to take for companies that would want to be serial number one with you? That's the first thing. So the technology piece is very important. Secondarily, here specifically in the Gulf Coast area, we're seeing a large influx of projects from 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So right now we have an interesting supply and demand paradox, where we have more projects that are demanding supply of labor than we do actual labor on the Gulf Coast, right? So that big gap there is something that we are struggling with, and we're trying to have conversations with our customers saying, okay, this is a very high risk item, for not only for you, but for contractors. How can we work together, coming up with an acceptable risk profile that's good for you, but that we can also put forward to the debt entities and to the financing community that they will sign off on? Because over the next 3 to 4 years, the landscape of lump sum turnkey projects is really going to fade away, because a lot of companies like ourselves, they see the volatility in the market from a labor perspective, and that's a lot more risk than we're willing to take. So we're trying to work with our customers, coming up with alternative execution approaches to help get their projects through FID and through financing. And it's a challenge, but it's something that we're working very diligently on, and we're finding some success in that particular space.
Okay. No, thank you again. So finally, how can SMB help clients overcome these challenges?
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, what I would recommend to customers, whether they're working with SMB or another contractors, identify your EPC partner early on in the process, right? In that early FEL2 stage, if you can, because they're going to be able to provide you against good sound execution approaches, good sound estimates, good sound schedules, and then partnering with them, you're going to be able to lock up and get the labor resources that you want as you move through FID, right? If you're going out at every stage and you're bidding again, and you're not developing partnerships and relationships, you're going to struggle to get good contractors to take you seriously right? And to be able to actually have the resources available for your projects. Whereas if you're partnering with them early on, developing the projects, having those open dialogues and finding creative ways to get your projects through each stage gate, and along the way, you're going to sure up, okay, hey, this project's for real, we've been involved in the beginning, we're going to make sure we have labor for them, opposed to a customer that says, hey, we've got a project we'd like you to bid. You may not get the same responsiveness from an EPC like an S&B that you would otherwise. So those would be some of the recommendations that we make.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thank you for your time, Blane. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.